Hey guys, welcome back to the Subtl YouTube channel. If you think my eyes look good right now, that's because I followed an amazing tutorial from Murdick, who is Selena Gomez's makeup artist. So we're gonna learn how to do this look to lift and elongate the eyes, especially if you have hooded eyes or your eyes are downturned. Let's go. I've done Murdick tutorials a few times on this channel and they have always done really well because she is Selena Gomez's makeup artist. But what I love most of all about her is that she's just like very real and relatable, and I guess maybe I like her because she doesn't look like the typical Hollywood makeup artist celebrity, and we love that. And she also just really breaks down makeup concepts in a very simple and understandable way. Now, I'm not sure if I technically have hooded eyes, but I definitely have downturned eyes. That's part of the reason that I do have false lashes. Probably can't tell as much with my lashes, but my eyes do just kind of turn down a little bit when I'm looking straight on. And then this part of my lid is kind of like hooded, if that makes sense. So yeah, I do have somewhat hooded eyes. That makes it really difficult to do like winged liner. Melissa in this video definitely has hooded eyes, so I think this tutorial will be very helpful and we'll just follow along together. Okay, now before we get into the eyeshadow, I do need to finish up the face. I do have a light foundation on. It's the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in Deauville. As always, I use the Super Goop Glow Screen as a primer. I'm just warming up the Subtle Beauty Concealer in my shade, which is 3N. And we're just gonna start here in the corner. I just love how creamy and smooth this concealer is. It blends so well. I will also say I am having a lot of seasonal allergies, so I feel like my eyes are kind of puffy. And after I put the concealer on, I like to just kind of set it by tapping with the finger that doesn't have product on. Also, sometimes with blemishes, it's a good idea if you're using like liquid or cream concealer to kind of let it sit on the blemish for a little bit before you actually blend it out so that the color actually stays. Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. Next, I'm gonna do a little bit of bronzer. I've really been liking this cream contour stick by Fenty. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on, and then I like to finish it off with a actual bronzer. Blend this out. I really like using cream and powder products together because it's easier to blend and it stays all day. I'm gonna go in with the bronzer in shade Leche. I'm really careful to blend up with my hand. Even this is falling a little further down than I like it to. Just add a little bit of bronzer to the nose as well, kind of like a pseudo contour. Now let's try the new lip and cheek. This is Runway to Rosé. I'm still like playing around with whether or not I prefer to use my fingers or the stippling brush, but I'm gonna go ahead and try this stippling brush. Start with a little bit so I don't overdo it. Ooh, okay, that is looking very pretty. I think there may have been a little bit of leftover product on this brush, so it might be coming out brighter than normal than it actually is. But that's okay because I feel like all the subtle shades can be like blended together. Okay, this is really pretty. I feel like it's a little bit more like pinky than I expected, but it is a little bit of like, I don't know, a deeper shade than Mauve in the Maldives or the Hibiscus Highway. Lately, I've been loving using the stippling brush with the Shine Control powder and just applying it to the areas like the T-zone that gets a little bit too shiny on me. Yeah, I have dry skin, but see how it just like, it takes away the shine, but it does not make the skin dry and cakey, which is why I pretty much have stayed away from any other translucent powder all my life. This paired with the stippling brush specifically is the first one I found that doesn't get dry and cakey, and I'm like, for the first time, really loving how powder is looking on my face. Real quick, gotta add back in some highlight with the Champagne highlighter and this brush from the 4-piece brush set. And then I am gonna add a little bit of the lip and cheek. I love using a small little liner brush to add like a lip liner. Okay, and then I like adding some just in the corners and like kind of blending it out. I am loving Runway to Rosé on the lips. This is so pretty. Okay, I'm obsessed. Anyway, we're doing hooded eyes, but we got a little carried away. Now that we have the foundation of the face, let's watch the hooded eye tutorial.
I'm gonna use the Kosas Undressed palette to just create kind of like a matte neutral eye. I'm patting this lightest shade all over my lid so I can really get some impact there.
Okay, so she started with a really light shade all over the lid. So I'm actually just gonna start with the Shine Control powder just to kind of give an even base. I'm using more brushes than I normally do because I really want to get this tutorial right. And I feel like she does a lot of patting, so we're just gonna try to emulate that. And this is nice if you're like me and you have super veiny eyelids. It is good to just put on like a neutral base, which I honestly usually skip this part because I'm all about doing my makeup quick and easy, but I really want to, like I said, follow her tutorial as best as I can. Also, my lashes are probably gonna get very messed up throughout this tutorial. Don't worry, we will brush them at the end. Okay, and then to add just like a little bit of color, I'm going to use the highlighter in Champagne, even though I know she's doing more of a matte look, but I like a little bit of shimmer.
Now with the shade Peak and a fluffy blending brush, I do the outer half of the lid that I didn't cover with the lighter shade, and then I will blend up from there into the eye socket, but it needs to go high up, like higher than you'd think, because with hooded eyes, you really want this color to be able to show once you actually look straight ahead.
Okay, so now she's going in with kind of like a taupey brown, so I'm gonna use the matte brown in Staycation. With this shade, she goes on the outer half and then blends up into the eye socket. And then we're gonna use the fluffy end of this brush from the dual-ended eyeshadow brush. She kind of just whooshes it all over the outer half. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I feel like I always do my eyeshadow and it ends up looking so good in the mirror, and then in photos, like my eyes just look small and down because of the hoodedness. Maybe that's because I'm not going high enough with my eyeshadow. This is like a good learning experience for all of us. Okay, and then real quick on the other side, I just smudged it on the lower half, slowly blended up. I feel like this is actually a huge game changer for me because normally I'm pushing in the corner of my eye, and yeah, I think that's dragging my eye down. Instead, blend up higher than you think.
Switch to a smudge brush in the shade Untie. And basically what I do is from the center of the eye, right at the lash line outwards, I blend up into almost like a little baby cat eye shape, but I'm using this tiny brush and the shadow instead of an eyeliner.
Okay, next she's using matte brown that's a little more warm. So I'm gonna use the brown in Takeoff. Use a smudge brush. I'm just gonna use this one again. And she's saying she starts in the center of the eye and blends out. Again, this is a little hard with my lashes, but we're gonna go for it, okay? So I'm just gonna really pack the color on there. And I'm gonna start in the center. And then she's saying she kind of goes out as if it were like a cat eye. Okay, I think I do need to use the liner brush. Okay, and then it's very slight, but see how we're kind of bringing the liner or the eyeshadow out a little bit. And I think I'm gonna go in with the dark color in Dune as well because I just don't know if that shadow was dark enough. Okay, so the key with hooded eyes and a cat eye is like do the smudging with your eyes closed, but then do the final step with your eye open. Okay, see, we're getting somewhere and it should all kind of connect.
I want this black liner to be really thin, so I'm actually doing the waterline for the first half of the eye, so underneath my lashes, and then at the outer half of the eye, I'm keeping it super close to the lash line, making sure that it all connects and looks nice and smooth.
I have done this before where if you have like downturned or hooded eyes, it makes more sense to do your winged liner like on the waterline on this half of your eye and then on the outside on this half so that it kind of brings your eyes up, if that makes sense. the waterline here. And again, this is really hard with my lashes. And then she did the liner on the outside. Okay, I gotta use the mirror lid for this. I can't look in the camera. Okay, do you see how this is lifting my eye when I look straight on? I'm loving this.
Curled my lashes, now I'm using the Rare Beauty mascara.
We're going to add some mascara underneath. And then as the final step, I'm going to add a gloss. Okay, there we have it, the final look. I do think it looks really good. I feel like maybe to go with the lifting effect, I didn't need to add the mascara to the bottom, but I kind of like the drama of it all. Let me know what you guys thought of this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.